We have 14, Mr. President.
Okay.
Mr. Dean Marks, representing Local 474 from Fire Department Cuts.
Good evening, Dean Marks, local president, Elyria Firefighters 474. I reside at 318 Ashland Avenue. I also reside at 40 Cedar Street, 330 East Broad Street, 855 Lorraine Boulevard, and 609 North Avenue. Those would be the 4 fire stations in the city. I'd like to thank council for giving me the opportunity to address both you and the citizens of Elyria. I stand here before you not because I want to, but because I have to defend the safety of both the Elyria firefighters and the citizens of this great city. Tonight, you have before you yet another proposed reduction to the Elyria Fire Department. It comes to you in the form of an ordinance change that would give the administration the ability to reduce the officers and strength of the Elyria Fire Department. This seems to come at the most inopportune time. We currently have an acting interim chief that will be replaced shortly due to the retirement of the current chief in March. We are also on the verge of conducting a fire audit that was called for by both the citizens of Elyria and council. It is a much needed tool to get this department heading back in the right direction. This audit would be performed by professionals to provide us important and necessary information. This past November, there was a tax renewal on the ballot, issue 15. It called to keep Elyria safe. The public was told that if this did not pass, cuts would have to be made to both police and fire. Thanks to the support of the citizens, it passed overwhelmingly. Yet still I stand here before you because of the attempts to further reduce the fire department. Why are these reductions in officers in the department so critical? Because once again, both citizens and firefighters' safety would be compromised. How so, you ask? By the mayor's numbers, he would reduce the officers by 9. This reduction would be based on a 3-station and 4 apparatus truck department. I'm here to tell you, once again, 3 stations and 4 apparatus cannot protect this city. Today, due in part to the hiring of 7 new firefighters, Station 2 is open. We are operating 4 engines, a ladder company, a heavy rescue company, and 1 command vehicle. That is a total of 7 apparatus. The mayor's reduction would force 3 of these essential apparatus to be shut down. Furthermore, the reduction of the minimum strength of firefighters to 14 falls below the national safety standards. This once again puts firefighters and civilians at risk of harm. The premise of company staffing is that each apparatus can work independently or as a team on a chaotic fire scene. The officer's job is to make sure that the job or task is completed while assuring both the safety of firefighters and citizens alike and meeting the safety standards. Why is this staffing critical in the Elyria Fire Department and departments across the country? Firefighters respond to a fire somewhere in America every 17 seconds. Fire doubles in size every 30 seconds. Fire has killed more Americans than all natural disasters combined. Last year, we've seen the increase in civilian fire death rise 42% in Ohio. Last year, 114 firefighters made the ultimate sacrifice and died in the line of duty, trying to protect the lives and properties of their respective cities, something that Elyria firefighters do every day. With only 20 days into the year, 3 have already made this supreme sacrifice. The Elyria Fire Department, extension, please.
Mr. Chairman, I move to allow Mr. Marks to continue.
Second. Question, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carried.
Thank you. The Elyria Fire Department is no different and has seen its share of emergencies. Along with numerous medical emergencies, we have seen fatal fires, chemical plant explosions, and most recent, the largest fire in the history of Elyria, the General Industry Fire. We have already responded to 16 regular alarm structure fires this year, 4 which were beyond the capabilities of the on-duty shift personnel, and required to call in extra alarms and mutual aid, further robbing other cities of their protection. The needs of this city are still great. It is our duty to protect the lives and property of the citizens of Elyria. I am asking you to give us the tools to do just that. Today has been a historic day with the swearing in of a new president. Let's not make history for the wrong reasons. I urge you to be the voice of the citizens and not the administration by voting against the proposed changes. Allow both the new chief and the fire audit professionals the opportunity to do their jobs. I don't believe it is too much to ask to put safety first. Thank you and stay safe.
Thank you, Mr.
Richard Benton, 5137 Wakeman Town Line Road. The subject is officer reduction in the fire department.
Good evening. I'm Richard Benton, Captain, Elyria Fire Department, soon to be Chief, hopefully. One of my concerns was I attended last week's meeting.
I need your address.
5137 Wakeman Town Line Road,
Thank
Collins,
you.
Ohio.
Thank you.
One of my concerns was after the last meeting, some of the numbers the mayor put up for you with the $95,000 savings with the officer cuts. Something unique with our department that we didn't take into account is our acting officer pay. Every time an officer is off, we have to move men up to fill those slots, both for safety reasons and for accountability reasons. It's unique to our department, so that's probably why it got overlooked. I know Mayor Keys in the early 1990s when Engine 5 was put out of service, he looked at cutting officers back then and found by keeping the extra officers then, it was actually cheaper for the fire department to operate than it would be to pay acting officer pay. Many fire departments follow the same pattern. They actually hire 40-hour personnel at officer ranks to fill in when officers are off duty to save them the acting officer pay. Now, I took some time to crunch some numbers like Chief Shue did for then Mayor Keys to show him the cost difference. And we're looking at about $97,000 in acting officer pay if we do the proposed cuts that the mayor had on the board earlier last week. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Larry Kilpstine, 959 Oakwood Drive. Subject to question on recent tax levy.
Yeah, Larry Kilpstine, 959 Oakwood Drive, Elyria, Ohio. My question would be for the mayor and also for council, as the gentleman stated before me. Issue 15 that we passed a couple months ago, I've asked this for several meetings, was told there was no cut in safety services or fire. I have yet to see anything in the paper. I'd like to maybe have someone from council tonight say what went wrong. I mean, a lot of you said that you were signed off on this campaign because you were told that this would support the city, there'd be no cuts in safety services, but yet 2 months later, we're talking about cutting everything. I also agree with the gentleman about the audit. The audit is unbiased opinion. You should also wait and see what that opinion would be, and also what proof do you have that administration will follow the guidelines of that audit. If they find things that you should increase, how are you going to increase them? Also, I have one other question that I don't really know the man's name from the Central Properties, but I'd also like to wish someone had asked about not closing them all because they have leases. But what about the major stores? Because what I've heard from people I know that work at those stores is that Macy's and JCPenney's leases both expire this year, and neither one of them said they're going to extend those leases. So you won't be violating a lease and closing your mall if you don't have any major chains operating at the mall. Thank you.
Thank you.
Craig Bevans, 143 Timber Ridge, no subject.
Craig Bevan, 143 Timber Ridge, Elyria. It's been 27 and a half years on the fire department. When I came to the city, I moved here when I got employed here. These last 8 years have absolutely been the biggest joke in the world. I invested in this city by building a house here and immediately closed my fire station. Now you're going to cut more men. I have to go to the south end of the city, gentlemen, the last street in the city, on the southeast end, and wait for a truck to come from Abbey Road. How would you like it to be your house? Would you like that? How about going over and cut the police department so that we don't have protection there either? You have safety first. I stood up here The mayor said he wasn't gonna cut. Another lie. I sat there at the meeting and asked him if he was raising utilities. In front of everybody at that town hall meeting, he told us, no, we haven't talked about it, don't know anything about it. 2 weeks later, it's there. 2 weeks after, talking about laying out fire and police. What kind of joke is this? When is this gonna stop? And when is council gonna go over and tell the mayor, enough is enough, stop playing pawns with our police, fire, our street department, and our sanitation. These guys do a damn good job. They sacrifice their lives for us, and all they are is pawns to the mayor. I'm sick of it, and I think it's time to stand up and do something now.